Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play. This time around, it is Mega Man 2, aka Rockman World 2, for the Game Boy. This is the sequel to Mega Man Dr. Wily's Revenge, also known in Japan as Rockman World GB, or Rockman World. Pretty sure it's just known as Rockman World over in Japan. Wasn't much of a plot to the last game. Apparently, Dr. Wily's Revenge took place after the first NES game, where Mega Man had to take on some old foes once again. Then he had to face Anchor, which was some robot that Dr. Wily made just to kill Mega Man, and then you had to fight Dr. Wily on a space station, and then that was that. Mega Man 2 has a interesting plot that is nothing like that of the Mega Man 2 game for the NES. In Mega Man 2 for the Game Boy, Dr. Wily steals an experimental time skimmer from the world's Kronos Institute and travels 37.426 years into the future. Why? We don't know. And the game doesn't really go into the story at all, so I'll have to explain things along the way. Meanwhile, Dr. Wily's robots are guarding a subterranean passage, and Mega Man has to check it out. Something tells me that these two plot points will converge at one point. Also, Mega Man 2 for Game Boy is the one Game Boy game not developed by Minakuchi Engineering. This one was developed by Japan System House, which did not have that much knowledge on the Mega Man series as a whole, despite the fact that this was 1991, 1992, and by the time this game came out, we had at least the first 4 NES games. I don't know if this came out before or after Mega Man 5. Not surprisingly, even though the game plays well, it plays about as well as the first Game Boy game did, the music and sound, not that good. And not surprisingly, Minakuchi Engineering would be back at the helm for Mega Man 3, aka Rockman World 3. But enough about the game, let's go ahead and play this game. And when we start the game, we have 4 Robot Masters from Mega Man 2 for NES. The 4 that we didn't fight in Dr. Wily's Revenge. You have Clashman, Metal Man, Airman, and Woodman. We are going to face Metal Man and Airman first, because these two are the weaknesses for the other 2. And I'm going to start with Metal Man first. So without further ado, Metal Man stage. And right off the bat, you can tell that even though this game shares a lot of stuff with the NES stage, such as the conveyor belts and the enemies in the background and what have you, level design is very different. And when you drop down, you want to make sure you don't land into the spikes. If you go to the right side, you want to be able to move to the left so you don't land into any more spikes. And then you want to make sure you drop to the left. I usually move to the left, so that way I can just get over here. And I don't need that health for anything, so I can just grab. I don't have to grab it at all, and I can just be on my merry way. These little gears, just like in Mega Man 2 for NES, you have enemies that ride on them. You can destroy the gears, and you can destroy the guys who ride on them too. You also have the Crushers from Dr. Wily's stage from Mega Man 2 for NES. They also do a lot of damage if you run into them here. I can't believe I'm doing this. And thankfully, we have the drills from the Dr. Wily stage showing up right here. I want to make sure that I get as many of these things as I can and shoot them all down, so that way I can get myself some health if I really need it. Which, of course, I'm gonna need it right now because I am doing so terribly. And if the game would give me a big pickup, that would be great. Unfortunately, the game isn't exactly cooperative here. And that's not the kind of big pickup that I need. You still have the same usual... There we go. You still have the... I forgot that was there. Yeah, where these two conveyor belts converge. Yeah, there's a crusher right there, and I didn't see it. I wasn't paying attention, and that cost me. So as I was saying, you still have the same weapons and energy pickups. These two things that have just dropped here, those are the small ones. There are big ones with a circle in them. Those replenish your special weapon energy. That's an extra life. Managed to get an extra life. And if you pick up any solid circles, those are your health pickups. And if I could find some, that would be great. I do want to make sure that I have some health as I do all this. But, well, I guess I'll just have to stick with what I got. So these enemies, just stick to shooting the gear, you should be alright. If you can shoot the enemies that ride on them, so be it. And from here, we can eventually climb up. Now we have some Metars. They have little three-way shots. You want to shoot them when they expose their faces, and you want to avoid the shots. Easier said than done. Also going to the right there, so I can more easily take out that Met right there. I thought I'd be able to dodge it that way. And I thought I'd be able to shoot it that way. I am doing terribly. Man, my hitbox is just not the way I'd like it to be. Also, if I had Rush Coil, I'd be able to get that one up. Sadly, I cannot. Anyway, let's go ahead and shoot the gear here and the enemies here. So that way I can easily try to farm for health pickups if I can find them. So more than likely I'm not going to be able to... Well, I can get some that way. Getting near the end of the Really? That can happen? That's something. Well, at least it's easier to go for them on the way back, but still. I did not expect them to run into me on the way there. And I didn't expect to run into it even while I was trying to jump over it. Fun. I want to make sure that I can get some more energy before I do anything here. Okay, that's a little bit. I can't believe I'm doing this on the first stage of all things. But at least the game is affording me this opportunity, so I might as well take it. I mean, it's right there. And I probably have more than enough health to do this with at last, but well, better safe than sorry. Come on, game. Don't bogart the health right now. Not at this juncture. Well, I can take the extra life. I'll definitely need as many of those as I can get my hands on. But I still want that last bit of health. Oh, come on. If I don't get it anytime soon, I'm probably just gonna... There we go. Now we can go in here with, what, 5 lives? And we can beat, or rather we can fight Middleman. Not sure if I'm gonna beat him in 1 life, but I am gonna try to beat him right now. So whenever you fire the Mega Buster, Metal Man will jump into the air and he'll throw the blades. If you know when to fire, which is at the height of your jump, in the middle of the screen, Metal Man will just jump into your shots every time. And you can also hit him on the way down, too. All you really have to worry about then is just jumping over the Metal Blades. One comes down into the left at a 45-degree angle. The other one just goes to the left side of the screen. And you can easily jump over both of those. And for beating Metal Man, just like in the second NES game, we get Metal Blade, and we get Rush Marine, which I believe comes from the third the third NES game. And, of course, you have a password. It's always going to be 5 dots on a 4x4 grid. A1, A3, C3, D2, D4. And I'm going to keep that up just for a little while longer. And now. So now that Metal Man is done with, I believe we can use Metal Blade against Crash Man and Woodman. However, Airman can easily be beaten with the Proto Buster, because that's the default weapon we're using here. We can't charge it up quite yet, even though we can slide. So we might as well just go ahead and take on Airman. Man, that music is annoying. So in case you haven't figured it out already, B shoots, A jumps, left and right lets you move left and right, and down plus the jump button lets you slide. Anyway, we have birds that drop eggs. If the eggs hit the ground, you get a bunch of birds popping up just out of nowhere. And you can also shoot those down for pickups as well. And it's a good thing I landed just off the side there, closer to the center. Thankfully, in case the egg does drop to the ground and the birds come after you, you can shoot them for some power-ups and get some that way if you're lucky. So anyway, in case you don't know where to go, just drop down and you'll be able to drop down. Now if I could drop down, that'd be great. And I just want to be careful as I drop down right here. Can't believe I dropped onto a platform. Definitely want to avoid the bacon shooters. Definitely trying my best to avoid the birds, but I can't do it. And from here we have more of these platforms. I haven't really talked about these platforms in detail. Just like in Airman stage for the NES. You'll have spikes coming out of the side. You'll have to avoid those. And you also have enemies that pop out of the sides too. And you'll have to take care of them and make sure they don't get in your way as you're jumping around. The little enemies that I'm talking about, they only show up when you're on the platforms proper. And of course, you have the air-blowing guys who blow you away and try to keep you from getting on platforms, though if you keep shooting them down, they will eventually go down. Ow. If you see black dots at the bottom of the screen, that is the bottomless pit. You do not want to fall down there. And of course, we also have the Zeus robots, as I like to call them. They throw thunderbolts at you. Shooting them a couple times will get them off the platforms, and then you can ride them at your leisure. The platforms usually fly around in a circle-ish pattern. And they're a lot easier to get on compared to the NES game. I'm going to be making NES game comparisons a lot in this Let's Play. Anyway, let's go ahead and drop down. Want to be careful as you drop down. Okay. I can just go right here and just shoot at the bacon and the bacon shooters. Sure. Or did I not go all the way to the left? I didn't go all the way to the left. And I managed to avoid falling down there. Thankfully, there is floor down there. Yeah, the bacon shooters just create infinite wiggly bacon. You can shoot down the bacon shooters, but the bacon can also give you power-ups. I know they're supposed to be worms, but look, they look like bacon on NES, okay? Anyway, we are now approaching Airman. I have full health. I may use the Metal Blade, but I could use a Metal Blade, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm just going to use the default weapon, the Proto Buster. and take on Airman. Want to be careful here. Just keep shooting at him. Be ready to avoid the tornadoes. I was trying to slide under those, game. You didn't let me. And I tried to jump over that, and that didn't work. And I may lose a life here. It's a good thing that I have 4 more lives, I guess. Anyway, let's go ahead and try this again, and let's be a little more careful this time. As you can see, Airman shoots little tornadoes in a specific pattern. Well, not really specific pattern, more of a random one, 3 times. And when the tornadoes blow towards you, you have to avoid the tornadoes. But yeah, good luck doing that when you're being blown backwards and you're trying to fight the wind the whole time you're doing this. So all you can really do is just keep shooting at Airman when you have a chance to do so, especially when the tornadoes are not at ground level and you can easily shoot under whatever tornadoes that there are. You're going to be taking a lot of damage, but unless you're super aggressive towards Airman, you're not going to take him down. You have to be aggressive towards Airman in order to take him down. And by beating Airman, you get the Air Shooter and the Rush Jet, which also debuted in 3. If you couldn't already tell, this game has elements of Mega Man 2 and 3 for the NES. Not surprisingly, we'll also be finding Robot Masters from the 3rd game as well when we get the chance. And some passwords may not have 5 dots. Sometimes you'll have 6. Maybe you'll get more dots on the password screen as time comes. Anyway, A2, A3, B1, C3, D2, D4. And I'm going to leave that password on just a little while longer. That way you can more easily pause and copy it down if you want. And done. So we have beaten Metal Man and Airman. A little more troublesome than I would have wanted it to be, but at least we got it done. We have the Metal Blade. We have the Air Shooter. We can take down Crashman with the Air Shooter, and we can easily beat Woodman with the Metal Blade. I mean, we kind of have to use that because we don't have access to Heatman and Atomic Fire because Heatman was at the end of the last game. So, what you see here is what you get as far as Mega Man 2 Robot Masters are concerned. So join me next time where we take on Crashman and Woodman, and then see what else is happening around here. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!